The unlikely love affair between two former United States presidents, George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, was one that many believed would never be made public. Yet, during a heated election season, the two bravely decided to face their fears and come out of the closet. Though they had always been cordial, it wasn't until their shared struggles with their sexuality that they truly began to understand each other. The two men had grown up in vastly different circumstances, with George coming from a wealthy background and Abraham from a humble one. Despite their different upbringings, they both shared a passion for justice and equality. This common ground was what ultimately drew them together and helped them form a strong bond. Their newfound relationship was a source of strength and courage for both of them. It helped them to face their fears and come out of the closet during a difficult election season. With the support of their loved ones, they were able to show the world that love truly has no boundaries. The pact, in order to solidify their commitment to one another and to their cause, George and Abraham made a pact. They vowed to stand by each other and to continue to fight for justice and equality, regardless of the consequences. They also promised to support each other through the difficult times ahead and to never give up on their dreams of a better future. With a shared goal of finding love and happiness, they made a pact to support one another in their pursuit despite the challenges posed by the conservative political climate. Their pact was a symbol of their unwavering love for one another and of their commitment to making the world a better place. As the election season came to a close, the two former presidents stood strong in their commitment to each other and to their cause. They showed the world that love truly has no bounds and that it can transcend all differences. Challenges of the political climate. Despite their strong commitment to each other, the two former presidents faced many challenges due to the conservative political climate in which they were living. Their relationship was met with criticism and opposition from many, including their own political parties. They were seen as a threat to the traditional values of the time and were met with hostility from both sides of the aisle. The two men were also met with resistance from the media, who were quick to label their relationship as scandalous and inappropriate. This made it difficult for the two to be open about their feelings for one another, and it made it difficult for the two to get Despite these challenges, George and Abraham stood strong and continued to fight for justice and equality. They were determined to show the world that love is more powerful than any political divide. And as their romance blossomed, the two men became an unlikely source of inspiration for their supporters. Relying supporters, the two men soon found themselves gaining support from unexpected places. People from all walks of life began to rally around them, inspired by their courage and determination. They became a symbol of hope and love to many, who saw them as an example of how people can come together, regardless of their differences. Supporters of all ages and backgrounds began to flock to the two presidents, showing their support for the couple and their cause. Their newfound supporters were a great source of strength for the two men, and they began to use their platform to promote acceptance and understanding. They spoke out against intolerance and prejudice and encouraged people to embrace love in all its forms. They were determined to show the world that love truly has no boundaries and that everyone should be free to love who they choose. Realizing the strength of love as the election season drew to a close, the two former presidents found themselves standing strong in their commitment to one another. They had come to realize that the strength of their love for one another was far more important than the opinions of the public. No matter what the outcome of the election, they would remain together and continue to fight for what they believed in. Item of they for what that would be people from all walks of life relied around the two presidents and their newfound relationship, showing that love truly has no boundaries. Their love was a source of strength and comfort, and it was clear to everyone that they were truly in love. They had defied the odds and overcome the obstacles that had been placed in their path. They had shown the world that love could conquer all, and that even in the face of adversity, love could still prevail. Their supporters, who had been with them through it all, were inspired by their courage and strength. They began to see that love was a powerful force and that it could help to shape the world. People began to see that love was something to be celebrated, not something to be hidden away. The two presidents had made a powerful statement, and it was one that was not soon forgotten. They had shown that no matter the circumstances, love could still be found and that it was something worth fighting for. As the election season came to an end, they stood strong in their commitment to each other and their newfound love. Conclusion: the two presidents had proven that love could overcome any obstacle and that it was something to be celebrated. Despite the fact that their affair could have a negative influence on their political standings, George and Abraham stood strong in their commitment to one another. Through their courage and strength, they had become an unlikely source of inspiration for their supporters and the world. They had shown that love could be found in the most unexpected of places and that it was something worth fighting for. As the election season came to an end, the two former presidents stood together in their commitment to one another and their newfound love, proving that love truly has no boundaries. As the election season wound down, it became clear that the strength of their love was far more important than the opinions of the public. The two former presidents had become an example of courage and resilience, and their story was one that would be remembered for years to come. Meeting and backgrounds: George and Abraham had first met several years prior to their coming out. They were both prominent political figures and had crossed paths on numerous occasions at various events.